Well, they've left me nothing to say, so that's going to be complicated, isn't it? Luckily, I never write a speech. Nervous laughter. So, listen, thank you so much for all coming. We really, really appreciate it. What a great turnout. One of my favourite nights to come to Wales, actually. I come here a fair amount, and just to come and see all the music venue operators and owners and the staff in the same room and just hear how business is actually a really nice reason to come here. There's an awful lot of incredibly positive things to tell you. Look, we've managed to buy 2 venues in Wales and place them into permanent protected status. Just to explain what that means, they won't just be here next week or next year or 10 years time. They're going to be here long after I'm ashes. Imagine that. I'm not planning on going anywhere for years. That means that 2 out of the 44 remaining grassroots music venues in Wales are permanently protected. What about if it was all 44? You know, let's take all 44 into this kind of community ownership. Let's not muck about. Rhiannon, that was such an amazing speech, and Jack, I mean, the will is there. We just need to get organised and deliver actual actions, because all these words are building up now, and they're like a pressure cooker of words. What we need is the actions that go with those words. We need Welsh Government to deliver on these things, and I know you want to. I know how difficult it's been. We're not here to tell you off. We know how difficult these things are. But look, business rates went up last year. They're staying stable this year, but it is crushing some of these venues. It's in the Moon, the original Moon's closure thing. Venue operators in this room right now will tell you that any kind of pre-profit taxation is absolutely crushing their ability to support new Welsh artists. Every pound you take in business rates actually is a pound that's not going in to supporting new Welsh artists, new Welsh programming. It's not developing our industry. VAT on tickets, I know it's not in your purview, but we need a strong message from Wales. Listen, it's 7% in Germany, it's 5% in France, it's 20% in Wales. Central government has got to get on top of this. In Norway, it's 0% on grassroots music venues. Why? Because they know that every pound that you leave in a grassroots music venue ends up in the pockets of a new and developing artist, supporting new talent, developing new IP. Get all these pre-profit taxations out of the way of music venues. Scotland has agent of change written into law. That means that in Scotland, you literally cannot build next to a grassroots music venue without addressing that it's there and without proposing what you're going to do to prevent it from closing down. I'll play favourites. I kind of think of Wales as a more musical nation than Scotland, although I will go to Holyrood in 2 months' time and say the same thing the other way around. I'm easy company. But that should be in Welsh legislation. It should be. And we are ready to be a statutory consultatory body for you. We will take every case and we will analyse it for you. We're ready to do it. But agent of change, legislation in Wales, that means if you want to develop next to a music venue, you have to work with that music venue to make sure that what you want to do won't close that music venue down. And I'd like to make a plea. Every music venue operator, every music venue staff in this venue, who here would not like to have 2,000 students move in to well-soundproofed accommodation right next door to your venue? This is not about stopping housing, it's about building great housing where people can walk from where they live to a music venue they love and experience that without being inconvenienced by the noise, without wanting to make noise complaints. Imagine if Wales had a thing where we built massive amounts of student accommodation around venues, fill up Wales with student accommodation, but just make it work for the venues. We can help you do that, bring that in. I'm in a weird position of saying nice things about the music industry. Makes me very uncomfortable, to be honest. You know, I know some of these people and we know how evil they are. I like to sing the Death Star anthem as they walk in the room, but look, actually, the music industry is getting its act together. That's the reality. Grassroots levy is coming. I'm not sure whether it will get here without statutory legislation at national government. It may require that. At the moment, we're trying to do it voluntarily. And who thought that perhaps grassroots music venues in Wales would get £1 out of every concert that's being delivered by Lynyrd Skynyrd in London. That's redistribution of income to support our nation's economies of music. It's making sure that everywhere around the country has access to great music. It's supporting great artists to go out on tour. And you have a lot of great artists here. Sam is absolutely right. Newport is going through a golden era of music in the way that it hasn't seen for years and years and years. And it's down to her team and other people in Newport getting together and making things happen. But they need this support, and we must have it happen. Was it last week? When was I in Westminster? 2 weeks ago. Yeah, last week I was a lot more confrontational. Look, some of these things are not in your ability to do anything. To all the MSs in the room, to you, Jack, to Rhiannon, but you can campaign on them. You can send a strong message to central government. Listen, we need to have the ability to remove all these things that are stopping our music venues from thriving, stopping artists from going out on tour. We'll help you. We'll support that messaging. We want to work with you. I think there's a massive opportunity here in Wales, and I would love to come back here next year and tell you that we've got these things right, that we haven't lost 4 venues in Wales, as we did in the last 12 months, that we opened 4. And I'd like to buy those 4 and put them into protected ownership, and I'd like to buy the other 44 and put them into protected ownership. Let's have a thriving economy, brilliant new artists coming through, artists and venues thriving, venues fully protected in the way they deserve. There are too many venues in this room that may not make it to next year. And we need to take that really seriously, and we need action, not words. Thank you.